This past year, we saw all-time highs on viewership records, and sadly, it looks like all the progress we've made as a community is about to take a big step back for a quick monetary gain.
And if they pull the rug now, it is a blatant, it's a blatant fuck you.
Instead of driving down the road that was being paved from the watch parties like the one Zuma, Scump, and Repulse were having.
Long time it was.
How you like that? How you like that?
You know, watch parties led to this massive growth, and not just for those individuals, but for their communities, and I feel like Call of Duty as an esport as a whole. Sadly, with the news that the CDL is going back to YouTube, I feel like all the progress that has been made is all for naught. That the 1 year we had away from YouTube and on the Twitch was enough to show the powers that be to give the culture that was being baked by these watch parties some time to cook and turn into something that was truly self-sustaining. But in today's video, I want to go over my thoughts and opinion on the CDL going back to YouTube and exactly what does that mean. Welcome back to another deep dive where I go over anything and everything FPS related, whether that's Call of Duty, Destiny, X-Defiant, or anything that I'm just kind of interested in and feel like I want to share to you guys. So, let's find out what we're diving into now, shall we? Now, I have to be honest, I didn't really watch professional Call of Duty pre-CDL. MLG, the CWL, I never really got to see and experience firsthand, and I actually had to go back and do my homework to truly appreciate the OpTic Dynasty and some really underrated players like Apathy, and in my opinion, one of the best to never get a ring, Zuma. And speaking of Zuma, he's the one who originally got me into the CDL. It's crazy to think at one point in time that Zuma actually competed in the CDL for the NYSL, and at that point in time, trying to grow the flank into what it is today. And his consistency and good energy and how he handled himself really got me into COD. At least the competitive side of it. And that paired with my exit in paintball, it allowed me to take my competitive outlet and put it into something else. So it was kind of like this perfect storm, you could say, for me. And you know, not too long ago, the OpTic boys were doing a podcast. Hex, Embo, Shotzi, and Scumpy were sitting down chatting about next season and where the CDL is going to go. And well, obviously with the direction of this video, we kind of know where it's headed. But here's a clip from a much longer podcast just to give you guys some added context.
So this is viewership. These are salaries, right? You know, you're working for it. All of a sudden, salary said, boom.
The viewership went the other way.
and you're like, and at one point you gotta, you know, that's why you're seeing what you're seeing nowadays, right? Like, you know, people like we make, obviously, right? I don't think I can say, but we make money off of our Call of Duty, not because of Call of Duty, because of all the efforts, like the one that you're seeing right now, that are happening around these things.
Man, please stay on Twitch, man.
Listen,
please.
First of all,
do you have any information on that?
Yeah, just go to fucking YouTube.
I got no information.
Last I heard from the meeting that we had is that it's going on YouTube no matter what. So,
I mean, you should be pissed too if it goes to YouTube. I feel like it's gonna affect every from the top to the bottom. It's gonna affect the amount of hype around the game. Like, it'll be hype at the start, but then like as the year goes on,
I will say I do feel like Warzone is gonna be back though. I'm not gonna lie. That's why like I'm fucking like happy for them.
After
but, like,
scrims, you're gonna play with us.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, this was a segment from a much longer podcast, and the full podcast will be linked down below in the description. But I have to say, I agree with Scumpy that from the top down, the competitive COD scene is really going to feel this. As I know COD players, COD pros want to be like the other esports, like CSGO, like Valorant, where the players don't even have to worry about content. They just show up and try to be the best players that they can be. And like I said, they don't really need to focus on content. But Call of Duty just isn't there yet. And well, as Hex alluded to, player salaries are rising and rising exponentially. And it was mostly due to all the interest that was being drawn into the league. However, now the CDL doesn't get the extra eyeballs from not only Scump Stream, Zuma Stream, and Hector Stream. The sponsorship dollars are going to go down because there's just not going to be as much eyeballs. And I really hope the bag that the CDL got for its exclusivity on YouTube is going to be worth it and is enough to really soften the blows for the orgs. Because if not, the orgs are going to be forced to scramble and try to figure out some kind of way to make a buck. Now, I do personally think that Call of Duty could take a page out of Valorant's playbook and add like a champs bundle where people like you and me can go in and buy a bundle and like 50% of the proceeds go directly to the CDL and all of the teams and thus the players. This way, we as fans can, one, directly contribute and have something to show off for our contribution. And two, I just think this is such a good idea that it should almost be implemented for every major. And if you're going to have like a Texas major, you should have an appropriately themed bundle to go along with it. But as I said, hopefully this is something they could do on top of the exclusivity deal on YouTube, which hopefully the CDL is getting a big enough bag that it's going to help and soften the blow for these orgs. But I have to say, I don't think being on YouTube is all that bad, because in terms of like the actual viewing experience, the pause and replayability on the live feed is just, it's kind of freaking awesome, and it's really nice for just a viewing experience in general. But for me, I think that's pretty much where it ends, because there's no real watch parties on YouTube. All our favorite streamers stream on other platforms, and back there in Cold War when Zuma was doing the flank and trying to do these watch parties, he would cover up like 80% of the screen and just have the time and the scoreboard on the screen. And seemingly this is what me and my little community are going to have to do going forward. And maybe even Zuma, Scump, and Hector, but it's going to be a real bummer if they can't do a live stream. They have to be in the conversation for literally onboarding casual players and turning them into CDL fans, or at least competitive COD fans. I mean, Zuma literally did this for me, and I know somebody out there has to have a similar story where they saw Scumpy, Hector, Zuma's YouTube channel, and they said, what? Professional COD? What's this all about? Let me check it out. Now, speaking of Pro Call of Duty and Pro Warzone and all of that, Hector and Zuma have been hosting a wonderful event that's backed by Activision to figure out who the true kings of Call of Duty were. And last night was the finale.
Bro.
That is funny.
Behind him, like,
Go Almond. Go Almond.
17. I can't even see their score. 17-17.
Oh, God. Actually, leave it on D because you probably should win these last 2 kills.
nah, this is GG. This is GG.
I'll be honest, Chad, listen. For everybody on Reddit and all that shit, I don't think many people could, like, I don't think any other Warzone guy could do it.
Let's see what Dan said.
Oh, dude. I'm not bothered at all.
And to up the stakes, near the beginning of the event, Hector came out and said, hey, we made 2 custom crowns, pure gold and family jewels, and they're worth 5K a piece. And whoever wins this, not only do you get it, but you could also sell it if you want.
Today's tournament, we got them custom molded, custom made crowns that are worth $5,000 each. So, Krinks, can you bring it up on the screen? And so each player, it's gold, solid gold.
Holy.
All of these, so you can sell it. It's worth $5,000. They each get a crown for the Call of Duty King.
If gold goes up,
so
you're good.
In addition to the $20,000 each.
This event was true Warzone pros with teams of like Aiden and Rated taking on the CDL's finest, the CDL pros, of teams of 2 of like Shotzi and Havoc, or even a BZ and Celium. And it started out with a Warzone kill race where the Warzone pros or the Warzone duos would theoretically have an advantage. And then in the second game, it would go to a 2v2 hardpoint where the CDL pros seemingly have the advantage. And then if it needed to go to a round 3, they would do 1v1s on shipment, or maybe even like 2v2 gunfight, because that's ultimately what had to happen, because it was taking like 20 to 30 minutes to fight out a 1v1 on shipment because they were just being so freaking ratty.
Yeah, I mean, if
Fire
you
a couple bullets. He's reloading.
Oh my God. What about D1? Holy shit.
So fucking...
Go back to Cell.
Nice.
D1.
Holy.
Oh,
Salim's match took forever
GG,
compared,
bro.
bro.
Oh my God.
And what I love about Call of Duty events is they never go without some kind of drama being drawn out. Because at one point in time, we got a little chirping from Abizi. Because from what I gathered, the duo of Abizi and Celium were taking on Illy and Capsule. And Abizi and Celium are up by 4, and Illy dies. He doesn't have a gulag. He thinks Capsule doesn't have a gulag either, so he backs out. And it backs out Abizi and Celium out of the whole lobby. Obviously, this has to be a forfeit. You know, that's at least what Abizi was saying. But in fact, he actually said this had to be the most Illy shit he's ever seen.
MC, I'm pretty sure he thought they were done because he thought that they had no more gulag, so he just left the game. Bro, that is the most illy thing I've ever seen, bro. That is the most illy shit I have ever seen. He pulled them out of the lobby because he didn't think they had a gulag.
Isn't he streaming down? I'm gonna stream.
I don't know, Tom. Like, I think Illy pulled an Illy.
What?
Like, Illy pulled an Illy. Like, okay, so look. Illy died. He lost his gulag. And then Cap died. And I think he thought that Cap didn't have a gulag. And he pulled us out of the lobby. And we were up by like 4 or 5 kills.
Now, even though Illy and Capsule technically did forfeit that map, they wound up going on to win the whole thing. It is kind of nice to see Illy come back because he's kind of been in the shadows due to an injury and some drama, I'm guessing, behind the scenes within OpTic. But overall, it was a fantastic event. I can't wait to see more of it. Now, as of recording this video, 1, Georgia football starts today, and I couldn't be more excited about that. And 2, Lugwood Greatest Gamer event also starts today, where they're going to be playing XDefiant at some point in time, which leads me to think that maybe XDefiant is dropping this week weekend or maybe next week. I don't know. My fingers are crossed and I'm sucking on some hopium, but at some point in time, it's gonna start today. I cannot wait to watch it, and I'm sure on tomorrow's video or even Monday, we'll break it down and talk more about it. But if that's not your jam, don't worry. You could check out Halo and Halo Infinite's Fort Worth event that's also going down this weekend. And man, can we just say competitive Halo is pretty sick?
Enemy team scored. Hill incoming. Hill ready. Enemy team took the hill.
But I think this is where we're going to wrap up today's video. If you liked it, you found anything interesting or insightful at all, please like and subscribe, as I have to thank all of you guys because you guys have helped us push this little crew to over 500 members strong. And truly, just thank you so much. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to do the damn thing. And eventually, we're going to be able to do some really cool shit. If you haven't subbed, then please join a crew of gamers and weirdos who like to lift each other up. If you're already a part of the crew, share this video with your friends and keep them in the loop with all the cool shit happening within Call of Duty. And as always, I challenge all of you, make somebody laugh today. Be a light in someone's life. I'll see you guys in the next one, or I'll see you over on kick.com/orod, where I stream virtually every day. It's Labor Day weekend, so we got an extended weekend. I got some adulting and some other BS things, but around 8 p.m. at night or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that is your time, if you want to hang out with this little weirdo, come hang out with your boy. But that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.